and a lot of the guys that developed them, I said they say developed, it's all been in a lot of them are German, English, and stuff like that, in the recent history and stuff. But I kind of think that, they were the ones who probably did it now. But of course, a lot of the materials and stuff was created in the past, and I wish we could. It would be nice to know who really found those materials, because I know they weren't the first ones. But still, it's just interesting just to know about that stuff. And then when you start studying, you see that a lot of this technology, this stuff is really recent, and it's what, in the 1800s, 1700s, most of it's, a lot of it in the 1900s, so it's really recent. And and you'll say like, well, wow, if it's just, because it's like after the slavery and stuff had started, and I guess well, anyway, that's a whole different story. But anyway, you start studying, you'll just start seeing a lot of stuff, and you're like, wow, and it's really fascinating and stuff like that. And if you prepare yourself and you understand these things, then, because as a black man, you are probably one of the most attractive human beings on this earth. The color of your skin, the darker you are, all it does is attract, because it doesn't, because the light doesn't reflect off you, so it doesn't, as much as it does off of if the lighter that you are, and it is soothing to the eyes, the color, and so people, they'll look and they'll look, and some people they'll just get into a daze, and when we're walking on the streets, like in Japan, people are staring at me. It's not that they're staring at you; they're hypnotized. Your color hypnotizes people, and it just draws them in, and a lot of people are just captivated by it. Like you might have you walking down the street, and let's say you and your wife friend, whatever, and both of y'all got six packs. Who you think the girls are gonna look at the most? They're gonna look at you the most. I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna not look at him, because he gonna pull his women. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying they're gonna be more captivated by you just because of the natural instincts of, just how things interact and stuff like that, And a lot of women know this stuff, and a lot of guys know this stuff, and hey, but then, the women also got their preferences too, and I don't know, it's just really interesting. It's really interesting. So basically what I'm trying to say about the studying thing is study, because the more you know, the more you know, the better off you're going to be. And you can walk up to a woman, and if you read about sex and stuff, and still learning in the streets, how to get the G-spots and stuff like that, and make these women do all kinds of crazy stuff. Because I got a friend named DJ, I call him a tech, because he's not really into, I guess he's not really into having sex. He telling me, but he liked to play with these women and stuff, because he got one girl he's just dedicated to. And me and my friend DS, we like, man, you crazy, but hey, it's okay, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine, But I will say that the more you study, it's just all it does is help you. It does nothing less than that. It just makes you better. You go to different countries. Let's say if you do go to another country and you meet some girl, she happened to take you to some exquisite luxury restaurant, and you just happen to be sitting there, and the governor of the country might be in there, or the town or whatever might be there, and he'll start talking to you. You won't know who he is, and he's not expecting you to know who he is, and he'll start talking to you, and he started talking about things, and you give him some information. He's like, well, wow, and he say, hey, I'm such and such and such and such, because you're not really paying attention to the bodyguards that might be sitting around him and stuff, and because he's not important to you, and he's not supposed to be important to you, if you're visiting a country and stuff. It would be nice if you knew who all the those city officials and people with authorities are, who the police chiefs are, and who the captains are and stuff. It would be nice to know that stuff, because if you knew that stuff, it would just make it so much better. I mean, wouldn't it be cool just going to this girl and say, hey, walking police says, hey, it's Captain such and such here, you know, and they're like, who are you? So, oh, I'm just visiting, but I just want to introduce myself and let him know I'm in his city, you know, that I'm in the city that he's protecting, da, 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 you know, and he might not have time for you, but it will impress a lot of people, like, wow, you know, so, or if you just know who these people are and you walk, hey, you know, you such and such, you know, and I know it's kind of stupid, you know, but I'm just saying, when you start reading and educating yourself, you have no idea what will attract you. But if you don't study, then nothing will attract you. You know, so it's just really interesting. And then like if you like, well, what's studying have to do with sex? Well, it has a lot to do with sex because a lot of people study this stuff. You know, positions, and what makes men feel good, what makes women feel good, and all kinds of stuff. And you never know what these women are here reading. Especially in Japan, they're reading everything, and everything's in the form of comic books, so it makes it more fun to read, and because they got a lot of pictures and they got the pertinent information, because you can't, like when you're reading the book, you know, they're talking about something, but they're also describing all this other stuff, which is good too, because you could, you know, it's like having 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 subjects all crammed up in one book. But when you're in a comic book, though, you know, you just only one specific subject, and they don't have time for all the adverbs and adjectives and, you know, all the other stuff to be in them. So these girls out here, they're reading, I mean, these women out here, they're reading all this stuff, and you don't know what they know. You know, you get these comments, oh, you know, where they don't know nothing about black people in America. Psh, they read, and you don't know what they're reading. Just because it's in the form of a comic book, you know, it doesn't mean that it can't have any important information and stuff like that. But, so anyway, what I'm saying is in America, there's a lot of guys out there who's having sex, and if you're Christian, it tells you don't have sex till you're married, and there's a reason for it. And you guys, a lot of you guys have to figure it out. You know, fatherless kids, you mess with these girls who are immature. You're immature. When these kids come, you got to get a job, but you can't get a job because you're not qualified. You're not qualified because you're too busy smoking weed or messing with your friends out in the street, and you're not doing it. 22 years is going to go by fast. It's going to go by fast. If you study hard in elementary school, just do your basic homework and stuff like that. If your parents help you out and things like that, all that other stuff is just a stepping stone, because this stuff is just, it gets a little more complicated and it's a lot more to write. So then they start using these symbols, and these symbols have meanings, and this have a meaning, and it's just really interesting. And like the other day I was reading about a chia seed, and the seed is a little seed, but it's filled with all kinds of omega this and omega that, and all antioxidants and all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna start ordering and eating those. But and then once your body, I mean, like you running around eating potato chips and eating all this stuff that's not good for you, but you eat this healthy stuff, and it'll straighten up your body. It'll clean up a lot of that stuff that's in you, especially antioxidants. So it'll stop making your body rust. You'll stay looking younger, longer, and all it's going to do is make your body just potent. And then when you have sex, you know, your heart is still, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the hardest metal is out there and stuff, you know. And when you pop it up in one of the women and stuff, man, they like, oh my God, and they gonna love it. They gonna tell their friends. Their friends are gonna come running to you, because all the women gonna want to experience, because it's just natural. Sex is a natural thing. And then you start reading about history and stuff, and you guys, you know, I don't keep saying it, but you guys gotta really read these books about that these Jewish people write, because they are the ones who going around the world traveling and doing all this stuff and seeing stuff, and they got all these books out there. You know, if you get them from these Jewish people and stuff, you know, read those books, because they just filled with a lot, you know, a lot of information. You read everything. You try to learn languages and read them in the other languages and stuff like that. And you go to these other countries, and I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of short people out there, but I'm like almost 6'2", but you standing 6'2", you know, 6'1", 6'2", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", you just muscle bound. You know, you ain't gotta be. I'm just saying, you know, just walking down the street with your muscles sticking out, very little fat. You know, your six pack there and stuff. Man, these girls see you, and if you're dark too, oh my God, they just gonna fall for you. Oh my God, you know, they just gonna come to you. And here in Japan, they do that. And I was in Thailand, you know, and I mean, I just walked in this club. This one girl was there. She was like mixed with African and Thai. She was fine too. Walked over to me. What's your name? Bought me drinks and stuff. You know, I was only drinking juices and stuff. And next thing you know, she come back with me. You know, and I was like, okay, we hung out for like 3 or 4 days until I left. You know, and walk into a club, it's just sitting there chilling. These fine girls walk up to you, and they buy you drinks. You know, tell you to come out to eat dinner with them, with everything. Makes a good, you know, get off physical and stuff. They don't ask for any money. They ask you, what do you want? You know, you satisfy, you want this, you want. You're like, huh? I'm like, huh? Huh? Wait a minute, you know. But when I left America, you know, black on black love was strong. White on white love was strong. Latina, well, we shouldn't say Latina back there, but Mexican and Mexican love was strong. You know, Asian and Asian love was strong. So everybody was dating their own. So I don't know what happened when I left. Maybe I left and that's what happened. You know, I don't know. But now it's like crazy. But, you know, and it's a worldwide thing. But that stuff can easily get fixed. So basically what I'm saying to you, young man, is listen. You're in America and you are saying that you're trapped, but you're not trapped. The only thing that's going to entrap you is your lack of knowledge. So you don't know what to do. That's the whole thing. Well, you know, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But if you study and you start creating things, you understand how to build things and how to do this, you know, because you can take these classes, but you need to take classes that's going to teach you how to create with materials, you know, with words, with economically and politically and whatever, you know. And you stand in these towns there where it's economically messed up and stuff, you know, you could start, you know, there's something that you can create to make your town grow a little bigger, a little faster and stuff. And this notion of, well, I don't want to do this because I want this kind of money and stuff like that. The government got money, they'll lend it to you and stuff. And the whole thing is just, you know, just people just overspend and just overdo, you know. And the money is not, the money that you spending things on, it's not going back into the economy the way that it should to help other people or to help promote, you know, other kinds of economical, monetary circulation and stuff. I mean, if you're going to give all your money to, let's say, some company called Dirt is Me, you know, so you know, you're going to, you know, and let's say like it's a fertilizing country. Well, you know, if you keep, let's say like it's not a fertilizer company, let's say it's a drink company, and you keep putting your money into these drinks, and you keep buying those drinks, you keep buying those drinks, then if the company is not interested in reinvesting that money into construction and putting it into your neighborhood so you can build houses and stuff like that, and everything's on loan and credit and all this stuff, so, you know, you get paid and, or whatever, you know, but if their money is going someplace else and not back into your hood, then all you're doing is just making yourself poor. You know, that's why I said in my other videos, if you're going to buy a product, you might as well learn to invest. Read about investing, learn to invest, start your own investing company, because it really shouldn't be that hard, and learn to do that stuff, and then buy the things that you invest in, so at least you get some money back. In your neighborhood, you got these houses that are broken down and stuff, you know, then you go to the city managers or whatever, and you say, hey, I want this house built, knocked down, and what I'll do and what I need, and they'll tell you. If they don't tell you, go online, you know, get the proper information. Sometimes, you know, you don't even have to go to school. You can take a lot of tests